Hello guys, welcome to Pitching in Line. After a long time, we are here to present you the cricketing events around the world. So Australia's tour of India has been in full flow, and it's been a mixed tour so far. We could bag the T20 series after losing no one day series before. So there were lots of hope coming into the Test series, and I thought India was in command for the first 2 days of this Test series, and kind of it all hell broke loose in the third day when things started happening, and India ended up on a dismal note, and India are 1-0 down in the Test series going into the second Test match at MCG for a Boxing Day. So a lot of expectations. So we'll discuss about that. So what do you address about the first Test loss, bro? Like how hurt were you? Like it was very disappointing for me.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's been quite a long time that we have made a video. So, welcome back. And to your question, I think it was very, very disappointing loss. It was literal a gut-wrenching loss because we knew pink ball test would be tough for Indians because we have only played one test, that too against Bangladesh and India.
Hmm.
And ping ball test in those kind of pitches of Australia would be completely different ball game. But
Hmm.
I felt first innings they were in a very good position at 188 for 2 or 3 when Virat Kohli got run out.
Hmm.
Then I felt the 244 would be very very subpar score, but we
Hmm.
bowled really well to restrict Australia to 111 for 7.
Yeah.
Again, somehow the tail batted well, so
Mm-hmm.
I felt at least 50 run lead would be very, very beneficial for India.
Mm-hmm.
Would be very, very beneficial for India. Since the pitch was deteriorating and we felt that batting would be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But all hell was broken loose. I mean, there are no like proper words. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is the state of every Indian fans where we couldn't really explain it. We
Mm-hmm.
can't justify it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the bowling was good. A few of
Mm-hmm.
the dismissals were, you can't really complain it because of a peach of deliveries.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 36 for 9, the lowest team total in the history of Indian Test cricket since 1934, is a
Mm-hmm.
very, very embarrassing. That is a very big stamp on Virat Kohli's legacy. Throughout his career, even after he retires,
Yeah.
he'll be known as the captain. Would be known for that. But yeah, it's very gut wrenching loss. But it's very important how they bounce back for the second test. What do you feel, bro? Because they actually were in a prime position up until second day, like you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But how would be their psyche
I think
going
it
into the second test?
I think it will not be easy to approach this test match. Yeah, I mean people might say, the management might say that okay, we are up for the challenge and all, but deep down inside, no, they will have that scar, and that is not
True.
easy to overcome. And team like Australia, in Australia, is not easy to beat. Yeah, we have beaten them 2 years back, but now they have their full strength team, and they are without Warner, but they still know the kind of victory which they got in the first Test match. I think they will be raring to go in MCG. So it will be, we have to play our skins, that to beat Australians in this Test match. So it's going to be a very huge challenge for India. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, like you rightly said. Think yeah, there'll be in media. Australian team is kind of downplaying it, and
Hmm.
Indian team is saying won't really bother much.
Hmm.
But like you rightly said, there'll be big scar. This
Hmm.
is a defeat which the score hasn't been done since 1934. And now going into the second test, the biggest blow for Indian cricket team was Virat Kohli is not there. He was the best batsman
Hmm.
for India in the first test, but we have known about it before. Now there's no Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami is a very,
Yeah.
very crucial, integral part of this pace battery. Already with no Ishant Sharma and Mohammad Shami,
Hmm.
suddenly the bowling looks quite inexperienced.
Yeah.
You have Bumrah, you have
Hmm.
Umesh Yadav. I felt he also bowled pretty well. But now there'll be a debutant. You can't
Hmm.
completely expect a debutant to give a performance like Mohammad Shami. So
Hmm.
definitely very, very big task, very uphill task for Indian team. So the team was announced
Yeah.
for the second test.
Yes.
So what do you make out of that team? Are
Uh,
you satisfied with it?
I think, yeah. I mean, see, the main intention for this 11 was, to strengthen the batting. We have seen our batting has been exposed in the overseas conditions, not only here, right in that New Zealand tour, which happened in January. We were struggling to contribute. We don't have tail enders who can contribute with the bat, so that proved to be a real costly affair for us. And I think keeping all that in mind, this 11 has been announced. Of course, so there were two forced changes. Kohli was missing out, and Shami was injured. So there were two changes which was at least expected to happen. And given the fact that how Prithvi Shaw was batting in the first Test match, he looked totally out of sorts and looked like the looked like a person who can get out at in 2 3 deliveries. He didn't have any kind of confidence with him. So I think I thought KL Rahul will play, but again, management decided otherwise. They had thought of bringing in Ravindra Jadeja. If you can see, it's like they have replaced an all rounder for a batsman. So
Hmm.
they thought that maybe with Jadeja's confidence in this tour, he can be handy with both the bat and the ball. So what do you feel about this 11? Do you think it is a balanced 11 for India going into this second Test match?
Yeah, I think most of the changes were quite obvious. Shubman Gill replacing Prithvi Shaw was very obvious.
Hmm.
Prithvi Shaw, I mean, yeah, he's talented. There has been a lot of hype about him,
Hmm. Hmm.
but you see his technical deficiencies in the first test, so it was very obvious. And Mohammad Shami, since he's injured, so Mohammad Siraj was given a chance, and he's a very good swing bowler.
Hmm.
No, we have seen it for RCB in IPL. When the ball was swinging, he was a very lethal bowler. He had a very good practice games,
Hmm.
and he has a very unbreakable record in Ranji Trophy with the red ball.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think it's a good replacement.
Hmm.
But one replacement which I'm totally not so convinced or not so sure is Ravindra Jadeja's. Like you already pointed out,
Hmm.
they replaced batsman with an all-rounder.
Hmm. Hmm.
In this series, not just this series, in the overseas, the
Hmm.
biggest pain for the Indian team has been the batting. So why don't you just strengthen your batting? Because the bowling lineup is doing well,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we have to see. I think one of the reasons probably could be to bring in a left-hander.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You know, now you have punt as well,
Hmm.
but yeah, there are five bowling options, and but yeah, we have to see how Jadeja is going to do. But
Hmm.
I seriously didn't get this proper logic because we could see the batting has been failed. So it's very important that you strengthen your batting rather than weakening it.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have to see how what is the management plans.
Hmm. What
And
on
a word
Shubman
about
Gill? Shubman Gill, bro. Shubman Gill. There was a lot of expectations from him, and he was traveling. He was traveling with the team for quite a long time, and Prithvi Shaw being the first choice opener, Gill didn't get a game. So suddenly, in a high
hmm,
pressure game in MCG in Boxing Day Test match, he's going to open. So can you read his mind? How his mind will be working now? Like, will he be up for the challenge?
I think he seems to be a person who would be up for the challenge. Basically, because since the under 19 was over, he has people are giving him a lot of importance. He played for KKR and he has been given a very long run. He was also part of leadership group and everything. So I'm hoping that he would be somewhat up for the challenge. Though debuting for Indian team is no, not a small matter. But one thing I would definitely say would be he would be quite unsure of his place
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
because so since he didn't do well, so even Shubman Gill will be having that doubt in his mind.
Hmm, hmm,
This is his first. What if he doesn't perform well? What is his position? And mind
hmm,
you, there is Rohit Sharma who's going to come back
hmm,
the
hmm,
third test.
hmm,
So his place is not like guaranteed for the remaining of the three tests. And you
hmm,
also have KL Rahul.
Hmm.
who was an opener in previous overseas series.
Hmm.
So I think place is not at all guaranteed. So this is one opportunity which he has to seal the deal. It depends upon what is his mentality is. If he is like, okay, I got a chance, I have to prove it,
Hmm.
or if he is worrying, okay, again Rohit Sharma is going to come back, I
Hmm.
might lose my place. But opener, he will have a very very important role when it comes to MCG tests.
Hmm.
We were always on the back foot in the previous series as well in New Zealand because we weren't getting the strong opening partnership, opening foundation. So I
Hmm.
think his primary role would be, to play off that
New ball.
red ball, that new ball, new cherry,
Hmm.
and try to score it off.
Hmm.
And a word on Rishabh Pant's inclusion because
Hmm.
Vidhiman Saha is by far the best keeper. So
Hmm.
do you think this goal is justified?
I think it's kind of a tricky question to answer because see, Ridhiman Saha on one hand, it's a quality wicket keeper. We know his wicket keeping abilities, and but the problem with Saha was, he hasn't been contributing with the bat of late, and that's what is worrying the management. And when your top order fails, and it's it becomes the responsibility of the lower middle order or a middle order to hold the things together. And there is no need to score big hundreds and 200s. Even if you play an innings of 50, 60 runs, it will be useful for the team. You have seen New Zealand team. Take an example. It's a very good example of New Zealand team. A wicket keeper called BJ Watling. He is a consistent wicket keeper for them. He's a very good wicket keeper and he contributes well with the bat. And last year against England, if I remember, one test match when their top order kind of failed, he was the one who came and put a partnership with Mitchell Sadner and scored a double hundred. So it becomes
Yes.
a tricky situation. It becomes a very key role for a batsman who is batting at number six. So that is why Saha, I think, is snubbed, and Rishabh Pant, who had scored a century in the practice game, I think that confidence will most likely help him in this test match.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Personally, I think it's a very good move. Though it's kind of little unfair on Saha, I get it. Saha has been a brilliant keeper, uh, but the major problem, what the Indian team is facing is the batting hasn't been clicking.
Mm-hmm.
It has been the weakest point. Strangely, if you say India, most of the people will remember his
Yeah,
batting order,
true.
but it has been their weakest link right now. So it's important that you strengthen that. And there's no doubt that Punt is slightly little bit more adventurous batsman.
Mm.
Like one of the things what I felt seeing the 36 for 9 innings is our batsman went into shell.
Mm. Correct.
Probably we might need one batsman, who actually attacks them.
True.
Kohli tried it, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately he immediately got out. But you probably need that one batsman who actually goes after the bowling. That's what happened when Mitchell Stark came and started attacking, and even Tim Payne started attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly the pressure came to India.
Correct.
So I think Rishabh Pant is certainly capable of it, but we
Mm.
have to see whether he will actually do it in the match scenario or not.
Mm.
So I think Punt he should be grateful with his chance right now, and it's very very important that he stands up. He already lost his chance, his place in one days, his place in T20s. He's only in Test cricket, so
Mm.
it's very very important that he somehow stands up and takes up soaks up the pressure and score a brilliant 50 or a century.
Yeah. So before that, I just want to ask a word about Australian team. And see, they are still without David Warner, but the problem for India is, last match when Joe Burns scored a 50, I think he got his mojo back. So how important it will be to remove that openers now, because we know that they don't have David Warner. It's just a matter of 2 wickets at the top, and we can expose Smith and Labuschagne Ali. And last time, mind you, in Adelaide, Ashwin, literally troubled Steven Smith. So how it's going? How it's really important with a new ball for us to strike.
Yeah, I think bowling is definitely our strength. And though there won't be Mohammad Shami, it's very very important that the bowlers still bowl the consistent lines.
Hmm.
And whatever plans they have been doing, it's been working for them throughout the overseas series. We have seen that it has been working well. So I think it's very important that they still continue it, and hopefully they're not affected by that loss because it's not really their mistake. So hopefully even Mohammad Siraj, he's a new bowler. I mean, he's a debutant. Hopefully, he actually bowls consistent lines and pick up those wickets. And one more thing, what I would like to bring in is fielding.
Hmm.
Fielding has to be improved.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And one of the reasons of the loss is fielding.
Hmm.
Had we taken our chances, Prithvi Shaw dropped a catch, Mayank Agarwal dropped Tim Payne at a very, very crucial period.
Hmm.
I think probably would have gotten at least 100 run lead. Even if
Hmm.
you are 36 all out, I think 130, 140, I think
Hmm.
it would have given bowlers some kind of total to defend.
Correct.
So it's very, very important on how the fielding, they have to stand up. I think bringing in Ravindra Jadeja would certainly help it. He's
Hmm.
a gun fielder, so that should raise the standards.
Hmm. Hmm.
And coming to Australian team, they will be very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
They probably
Yeah, because I think they're in a situation where they, yeah.
yeah, with Burns, but we have to see how Burns would do. And it's
Hmm.
very, very important for Indian team to keep Smith very, very silent.
Yeah.
If he performs, if we make sure that he gets out very, very early, then more often India would be on very higher, better position compared to them. So
Hmm.
it's very, very important. So, bro, what do you see? I mean, if India wins the toss, what
Hmm.
should they choose?
I think totally depends upon the track. Usually, we have seen in Melbourne that the new ball does a lot. The new ball, that the first 10-15 overs is the time when you have that movement in the air. But as the time goes, we have seen Melbourne having good batting strips as compared to Adelaide, where there was some awkward bounce. I think the best track which India will get is in Melbourne. I think for me personally, even though there will be a problem with the new ball, I think it's important that India can look to bat first and put runs on the board and see where it goes. I think it's better to bat first.
Yeah, I think certainly since uh, it's the bowling which has been our strength. So I would actually back our bowlers to defend a total than our batsmen going after the target. In case if they win the toss, they have to bat first. And like you rightly pointed out, Melbourne has been a very good batting strip for the past 2 3 years. So I think somehow Indian batters has to get set in and start scoring big runs, not just 30s and 50s, but they
Hmm.
have to aim for those 80s, 100s, 150s, the daddy hundreds. So without Kohli, it will be difficult. But let's see how Indian team is going to do. It's
Yeah,
very important to put up a fight rather than to just meekly surrender.
correct.
So as Indian fans, all the Indian fans will be hoping that Indian team puts a very strong fight,
Hmm.
regardless of the result. But win would be very, very beneficial, not just for the series, but also keeping World Test Championship in mind.
Hmm.
If India wins the toss, I think India will be very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because there are a lot of tough assignments coming up for India. Like this series aside, after that England series, England is touring India in February for 4 Test matches, and we are going to travel to England for 4 Test matches again. So I think it's not going to be easy for us. So I think we have to make that mindset, and we have to play a positive cricket. Don't care about the results, and we'll see where it goes. And that's how our mentality should be. And most importantly, the main thing should be that to forget what has happened before, and totally put that 36 all out from the mind, and come that yes, this is a new day, fresh Test match, and let's go for the kill. I think that should be the approach, and we'll see where it goes. So we'll see you soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.